Thank you for visiting the Combs Waterkotte website and our Federal Internet, Computer and Cybercrimes Lawyer in Missouri Defense Lawyer in Missouri website page. Regardless of the crime, we believe everyone is entitled to the best possible legal defense in the state of Missouri. We have created this audio version of our website page to help you better understand our services and protect your future, freedom, and reputation. If you have been charged with a federal internet or computer crime in the state of Missouri or across the nation, we can help. Don't face the state and court system alone during your federal internet or computer crime charge. Contact one of our Missouri federal internet or computer crime defense lawyers today at 314-900. Help to protect your rights and future. Combs Waterkotte is committed to handling all federal internet or computer crime defense cases with confidential care and understanding. We are not here to judge you. We believe that everyone in Missouri, regardless of the crime they have been charged with, deserves an aggressive legal defense and to have their legal rights protected. With that being said, let's discuss hiring our federal internet or computer crime defense lawyers in Missouri and setting up a free consultation with our attorneys. Federal Internet or Computer Crime Defense Lawyers in Missouri. Charged with a federal internet or computer crime in Missouri? These charges are serious. At Combs Waterkotte, our federal criminal defense team is built to take on internet, computer, and cyber crimes in U.S. District Courts for Eastern Missouri, St. Louis, and Western Missouri, Kansas City. With decades of experience, federal courtroom knowledge, and a track record of success, we defend Missouri clients facing federal allegations. Federal Internet, Computer, and Cyber Crimes Lawyer in Missouri. Both state and federal laws prohibit certain unauthorized computer activity, and while the scope of federal regulations is more limited than state laws, they often carry harsh penalties, including years in federal prison. Combs Waterkotte has successfully handled over 10,000 cases since its founding. If you've been charged with federal internet, computer, and cyber crimes, you can count on our federal defense attorneys to fight for your freedom. Federal internet, computer, and cyber crimes are complex. You need experience on your side. Contact Combs Waterkotte or call 314-900. Help right now for a free, confidential consultation. Understanding federal computer crimes. The federal government's interest in cyber crimes started in the 1980s. Before then, it relied on the federal wire fraud statute to prosecute computer-based crimes. In 1984, Congress passed the first federal cybercrime laws. Federal internet, computer, and cybercrime statutes have expanded over the ensuing 40 years. While these laws now cover many more offenses, the federal government has tried to balance the federal government's interests in investigating and prosecuting cybercriminals with the state's interests in handling crimes that happen in their jurisdictions. In addition to this policy, the Constitution limits the federal government's criminal jurisdiction. As a result, federal internet, computer, and cyber crimes typically involve the following areas: offenses within the federal government's exclusive jurisdiction, such as copyright; crimes involving international or interstate commerce; crimes against the federal government. State prosecutors will typically take the lead in prosecuting criminal offenses that fall outside of these areas unless they implicate an important U.S. interest. Additionally, some areas, like child pornography, are covered by both state and federal statutes. In these cases, the accused might face prosecution in state as well as federal courts. Statutes covering federal internet, computer, and cyber crimes. The U.S. Code includes several crimes that require computer access, copying, or transmission. However, while many federal crimes may be committed using a computer, such as bank fraud or money laundering, computer use is not a necessary element of the crime. Some federal statutes that involve the use of a computer include computer fraud. The Federal Computer Fraud Statute, 18 U.S.C. Section 1030, includes several offenses that occur when a person knowingly or intentionally accesses a computer without authorization to do any of the following: obtain or transmit the government's secret information, obtain financial records from a financial institution, card issuer, or credit bureau, obtain information from a U.S. government department or agency, obtain information from any protected computer, affect the use of U.S. government computers or systems, commit fraud, and obtain anything of value over $5,000. Damage the computer by transmitting a program, code, or command. Recklessly damage the computer by accessing it. Intentionally damage the computer and cause a loss by accessing it. Traffic in passwords to allow others to access it. Extort or demand anything of value through a threat to damage or obtain information from the computer. In most cases, these offenses must be committed against a protected computer. This term encompasses these computers and systems: financial institution systems, U.S. government systems, systems used in interstate or foreign commerce or communication, voting systems and computers used to manage or administer elections, systems that have moved or affected interstate or foreign commerce. Prosecutors can use this statute to prosecute most strategies used by hackers, including hacks, viruses, denial of service attacks, and ransom attacks. Wiretapping. Another area of interest for the federal government is wiretapping. Specifically, the U.S. has a law against intercepting electronic communications that prohibits the following acts: intercept a wire, electronic, or oral communication. Attach a device to a wire or capture radio waves to intercept a communication. Disclose to another person the contents of an intercepted communication. Use the contents of an intercepted communication. Use information from a legal wiretap to obstruct a lawful investigation. Notably, this law can be used to prosecute people who bug or wiretap communications that affect interstate or foreign commerce. Thus, this statute can be used to pursue charges for national security espionage, as well as commercial or industrial espionage. Possible defenses against federal internet, computer, and cybercrimes charges in Missouri. Our skilled federal defense attorneys can tailor a criminal defense strategy to fit the specific facts of your case. Some defenses that may apply include mistaken identity, lack of intent, and illegal search. Mistaken identity. Computer crimes often rely on forensic computer evidence. However, this evidence is not always as precise as law enforcement agencies and prosecutors claim. For example, the FBI might claim that an IP address led them to your computer, but you might share the same IP address as others in your workplace or residence. Moreover, a roommate or co-worker might have used your computer to deliberately lead investigators away from their devices. Worse yet, someone might have masked their IP address by hacking into your ISP's system. The real perpetrator who framed you might not even be in the U.S. We can raise this defense by presenting alibi evidence showing that you could not have committed the crime. We may need the help of an expert witness to review the prosecution's evidence and show that it does not incriminate you. Lack of intent. Prosecutors must establish that you knowingly or intentionally accessed or used computer systems you should not have. If you inadvertently accessed a system or copied data, we can defend you by presenting evidence showing your lack of intent. For example, suppose that you found a file online and downloaded it, thinking that it was a game file. If it turned out to be stolen government information, federal prosecutors might pursue espionage charges against you. We can defend you by showing that you did not knowingly access secret government data. Illegal search. The U.S. Constitution restricts the government's authority to search your property, including your electronic devices. To perform a legal search, the police need a search warrant, your permission, or evidence showing that the search falls into an exception to the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirements. If we can successfully challenge the search of your electronic devices, a court may throw out any evidence collected in that search. Equally importantly, the court can also throw out any evidence recovered as a result of the illegally seized information. How a Combs Waterkotte federal internet, computer, and cybercrimes lawyer can help your case in Missouri. The government will use whatever it can to build charges on federal internet, computer, and cybercrimes case against you, as well as go to any lengths for a conviction. You need an experienced and unwavering legal team on your side. Combs Waterkotte is here for you. We can challenge the government's claims and fight for the best possible outcome. What can happen if you don't hire a federal internet, computer, and cybercrimes lawyer in Missouri? You may face aggressive prosecution from federal agencies like the FBI, Secret Service, or DOJ. Complex computer forensic evidence could go unchallenged in court. You risk lengthy federal prison sentences if convicted under statutes like the CFAA. The government might interpret your online actions as intentional fraud or hacking. Without legal guidance, you could unknowingly waive key constitutional defenses. You might be held responsible for acts committed by others using your devices or network. The federal courts in St. Louis and Kansas City follow strict sentencing guidelines. A skilled cybercrimes lawyer can fight to suppress evidence and negotiate reduced charges. Why you should choose Combs Waterkotte for your federal internet, computer, and cybercrimes case in Missouri. Our attorneys have over 50 years of combined legal experience handling cases involving federal computer crimes. We understand the defenses that often work in these cases and can thoroughly analyze the prosecution's evidence to identify weaknesses in their case. Computer crime cases brought by the federal government may involve many investigative agencies and extensive evidence. Our firm has the resources to stand up to the full might of the U.S. government, as well as the FBI and the other agencies involved in your investigation. We fight aggressively and fearlessly for the best possible outcome in your case. How we defend you against federal internet, computer, and cyber crimes in Missouri. Computer crimes often cover complicated facts, including forensic electronic evidence. After getting your side of the story, we can review the evidence against you and explain your risks. We can then begin preparing a defense. This defense may include interviewing witnesses favorable to you and hiring experts to analyze and dispute the electronic evidence. Our team can present your defense to the prosecution to seek a dismissal or negotiate a plea deal. If we cannot obtain a fair offer from the prosecutors, we can fight for you in court, before a judge or jury. Discuss your federal computer-related charges in Missouri. Federal computer crime charges can result in lengthy prison sentences even if you did not intend to cause harm. Don't leave your future to chance. Contact us online or call 314-900. Help to discuss your charges and the defenses we can leverage to fight for your rights and freedom today.